Hey everybody, it's hot. Yeah, it's hot. I have my summertime cup. Justin gets these for me for free. I have two of them. I did have more, but I give them away. Anyway, this is my little Tervis cup with the beach stuff on it, and I have my lime water. It's not lime fizzy water, but it's lime water. Get a little dose of vitamin C with my coolness because I've been working. I'm telling you, I've been washing blankets. Blankets. Yep. And that's some hard work. So get on in here. There's Ben. He hasn't been on in a while. I guess he misses me. I have to be careful not to chew the ice. It was a habit my grandmother did. I do it. Justin does it. Sarah does it. Yeah. So I am going to be real careful not to chew my ice because that might not sound good. What have I got going on here? Hair is just sticking out everywhere. Maybe that's my chair and not my hair. I need new glasses, I guess. Anyway, it's a lovely afternoon. It's clouded up a little bit. It's clouded up and there aren't many sunbeams, but I'm just kind of hot and sweaty. I haven't turned the air conditioner on yet. So I've got lime water. Only crunch on soft ice. We have a restaurant in town called the Fish Camp, and we ate there for the first time since the virus hit. And I forgot how good their ice is. I love their ice. Love it. In fact, it's really good to go buy an ice chest full of their ice and for a party because you can make lemonade and put lemonade over it, and it's just absolutely amazing. I got a spot on my... So I'm getting laundry done. I decided just to freshen up the whole bed because the dog got in bed last night wet. So I had to do my sheets before Sunday. Hot, hot, hot. Yep. But I did hear some good news from the CDC. You know, people have been complaining about the South opening back up. The CDC said that is not the case. The CDC actually said that it was the week of Memorial Day, everybody came to the South on vacation. You can't even drive downtown. There are so many people downtown. And they're not wearing masks. And it actually makes me a little angry. There were a couple people last night. We went to Mexican downtown. Walking the streets, no mask on, you know, and let them stay home. If they don't want to adhere to our rules in our little county of Transylvania County, they need to stay home. They need to stay home. So bringing the virus from up north down here, that's not a fun thing to do. Not a fun thing. And I guess we can say that our cases have doubled in the last 2 weeks. They have. And it's probably, and Leanne just texted me that our barbecue restaurant is only open for takeout now. They don't have in-house dining anymore. And it's probably for that reason, because it was too dangerous for their employees. Well, if you're going to go from your car to a restaurant, you have to have your mask on in this state, per our governor. And that's what we do. We wear our masks to go from the car to the restaurant and into the restaurant. And some restaurants want you to leave your mask on until after you order. Teachers are protesting the start of school. If you live in a hot spot, I can't blame them. I can't blame them. But here in our county, we're not in a hot spot. We've had one person to pass. God rest her soul. She was a good lady. One person to pass from it. We have 50 some odd cases right now. They won't tell us how many have cured. But you know, there was good talk about the vaccines this morning too. So they're creating antibodies. So it's kind of interesting. But I also heard Dr. Atlas, I don't know who he is, but I heard him interviewed today, and you can probably find it. There's Miss Molly. You can probably find it where he said shutting down schools is just, this is Miss Molly. Yeah, she's such a pretty labradoodle. Yeah, you want to see Miss Molly? Is this Miss Molly right here? There's that little face. Yeah, she's a good grand dog. And here comes Tulip. She has to be the center of attention. Little Miss Attention Hog. Yep. So, I think we're going to start seeing some good things happening. Hawaii is just shut down, y'all. Just totally shut down. So, I'm just going to rant. I've never been to Hawaii. I would like to go one day. But they're keeping their people safe. Well, there was problems in Florida with several health departments, Orlando being one of them, and some investigative news reporting actually did their job and found out they were reporting 100% of the people tested as having the virus. Now, that's not so. I've looked at numbers all over the country, and it's about 9%. 9% of the people tested have it. Yep, 9%. So why they're saying it was 100%, and it was not just one, it was several health departments. So there's some problems going on with reporting. Leanne and I always say, follow the money. Follow the money. People do things for money. I got a Tulip dog now. She thinks she's not wet, but she wants to lick me. Yep. Who knows? So, folks, you got to be safe. Wear your mask. Stay home and cook. Order your groceries. Do everything we did back in March and April and May. Let's do that again. I don't have a problem with that if that means our schools can start and our kids can get educations. Let's do it. Let's stay positive. Let's not be afraid of this crap. Let's stay positive. Take our vitamin C, take our Core 4, get some zinc. Yep. If you go to Hawaii, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks before you can go on vacation in your hotel room. If you can even get a hotel room, because most hotels have shut down. Isn't that sad? The biggest tourist spot ever. Yep, take your D3. We're in charge, y'all. Not the government, not the CDC. We're in charge of our homes. And let's take care of ourselves. and we have to do it the right way. We just got the cutest testimonial of somebody who took our advice from a Fly Babies. She took our advice, and she and her daughter were sitting in the car wash, and she grabbed out her little pink rag that she had in a Ziploc bag with alcohol in it, and she decided to give it to her daughter so her daughter could wipe down her steering wheel, her dad, while the car wash is doing its thing around them. And she wiped down everything, and she said wouldn't believe the grossness that got off of the steering wheel. You know, that's a goal for us to do. Today's Wednesday. Friday is clean out your car day. Wipe down your car with alcohol, with disinfectant. Yeah, wipe it down. Now you need to keep the doors and windows open, but just alcohol on a rag isn't going to hurt anything. You know, I sort of got upset this week. Justin and Emily had a vacation plan to Florida, but it's in a rural area of Florida. There's only 15,000 people in the whole county. It's in northern Florida on the Gulf. And Justin wanted to do some fishing. And he said, Mom, we're not going to go eat out. He went to the grocery store before they left, so he didn't even have to go to the grocery store. He said, we got everything we need. I'm going to take my little grill, and we're going to cook out, and I'm going to fish. And last night he caught a bluefish this long, and he taught Sarah how to fillet it. He filleted one side, and then she filleted the other side. And then this morning I called him. He was supposed to come home today, and I just felt like, you're already down there. Sarah's 14. You need to spend this time with your family. We can make it without, and Jack told him the same thing. So it was, he decided to stay the rest of the week with the family. It did. It was a great fish. I don't think the economy is going to get shut down again. No, we may have to do takeout and all that stuff, but we're going to be safe. Be safe, and that's what Hog Wild is doing, I'm sure. We have another barbecue restaurant in town called Blue Smoke, and they only do takeout. But they were in a food truck for a long time, parked downtown, and so they got them a little place. And I'm going to figure out how to order from them, because I've been wanting some brisket. So let's just be safe. Let's go back to eating in and cooking on our grills. We can do this. We really can. Yeah, my state mandated masks too. Well, maybe we'll get Justin to do a video for you on how to fillet a fish. His granddaddy L.E. taught him, and it's a great tool to have, because then you don't have to pick around the bones. Granddaddy L.E. used to cook crappie. I say crappie. People in North Carolina say crappie, but I say crappie. And he would fillet crappies, all kinds, and have a big quart bag full of crappie fillets in the freezer. And he would cook those things, and he made the best hush puppies and the best onion rings. Yum. He did pretty good French fries too. He would take the French fries and he would cut them up into French fries pieces, and then he would let them soak in salt water. I don't know why, but I think it got some of the starch out of them. Leanne, is that something? I don't know if that's something. Crappie does sound better than crappie, but it's C-R-A-P-P-Y. We just pronounce it crappie. There's my tolling of the bell. Hush puppies. Now, the hush puppy recipe is quite easy, y'all. It's quite easy. It's 1 part cornmeal. It's a half a part of self-rising flour, and it's self-rising cornmeal too. Self-rising flour, half a part of self-rising flour. Touch of sugar, because he liked to put a little sugar in his. And he would chop up an onion. And then he'd stir in some buttermilk. Now, here's the secret to the hush puppies. You got to get your oil about, Justin uses a peanut oil. And I think it's about 375 degrees, or maybe 400. You don't want it too hot, you don't want it too cold, but you need to put a little bit of the batter into the grease, and if it bubbles up, it's right. It's kind of like checking if the grill's hot enough. If the grill's hot enough for pancakes. And griddle, I mean. And you take a teaspoon, you know the long-handled spoons we have in our drawer that we never use? Well, you take a teaspoon and you dip it in the oil that you're frying it in. This is fun. And then you take and scrape the top of the batter. Now, the secret to the batter is once you get the onions and everything in it, once you stir it up the first time, you kind of let it rise on its own, and you gently rake a small amount into your spoon. That spoon is less than a teaspoon. And then it's got the grease on the spoon, and it just kind of rolls up on the spoon, and then you slowly dip it in to the oil. It slides right off the spoon. Then they float to the surface, and then you flip them. Have you ever canned tomatoes as the liquid in the hush puppies tastes like shrimp in them? Have you ever used canned tomatoes? I've never done that. But I don't really have a recipe. I just do it. 1 part self-rising cornmeal, 1/2 part of flour. Mix that together with about a teaspoon of sugar, and then chop your onion up really fine, really fine. And then put the buttermilk in it and stir it up and let it rise. So they're not hard to make, and they're really good. Crappie, yep, crappie. Yeah, he'll have to have us a fish fry sometime. He can go catch some fish. It's all fun. I shred my onion in a box grater. Well, that's a great idea. How much buttermilk did you say? I didn't say, but you want to get it good and wet. It's probably, I'd say, start with a 1/2 cup and stir it up, and if you need more, add a little more. Add small amounts until it becomes the consistency a little bit thicker than pancake batter. But I just get it good and wet. And don't stir it up. I still remember Granddaddy. One time I was helping in the kitchen, and I stirred his batter for his hush puppies. And he says, "Girl, you're gonna ruin it. You're gonna ruin the hush puppies. You gotta let them rise." They taught me how to make gravy and how to make biscuits. I didn't know how to do anything except make mac and cheese and spaghetti when I got married. But my in-laws taught me everything. They were good people. Y'all get your supplements ordered. They're going fast. And they're just what you need to make you feel better. Yep. People are sending in testimony. And if you have a testimonial for us about anything, but the supplements, the tea, you name it, send it to us. Pink rags, silver rags. I have very few silver rag testimonials. Very few. I got a ton of purple rags, but very few silver. And the silver are the same fabric as the purple. I can't find Robert. I thought he was in the treehouse, but he's not. Yum. Tea is on the boat. Yay. What are the silver rags? They're just like our purple microfiber rags. They come 3 to a package in a bag you can use to wash them in. Or if you got as many as I do, you just wait till you have a load. I love the silver too. People use them as dish rags. I use a purple one. You cannot call in orders. Nope. You can do a mail-in if you want to. And you can print off your order form and you can mail it in. But we don't have somebody to answer the phone. Nope, we never have. Never will. Well, somebody said, what are hush puppies? Well, they're fried cornbread. As we call them, they're gut bombs. That's what Robert and I call them. Gut bombs. Something's behind me. I don't like not seeing what's behind me. I can hear it. Well, thanks for all the stars, y'all. It won't be long till I'll have... The decaf tea is getting close, too. It's getting close. Color. That's the only difference in them is the color. I wanted the hot pink to... We bought them for to clean our face with, to take your makeup off. Bigfoot's behind you. No Bigfoot. No, Bigfoot is not going to climb that 20-foot drop. It's 20 foot from the end of my deck floor to the ground. It's pretty high up. They had to put a lot of bracing. I wish somebody would explain the stars and tell people how to buy the stars and how to give the stars. So if one of you know how to do that, I wish you would please explain it. I'll stay on here till you do. There's Robert. But we're just enjoying the afternoon. Let's see if I can get the view to pop out. Well, it did a little, not much. I don't know why it won't come out. Well, that's sweet, Dawn. It's just pleasant to sit here and talk to you, running my mouth, chattering on. You just never know. Your blood pressure drops. My wind chime, if it would blow, that would make your blood pressure drop. The bird singing makes your blood pressure drop. I finally figured out how to turn off those potential spam calls. That's from all of Savory. Goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. So one of the keys to cooking fish for me, is to soak it in buttermilk. I love buttermilk. And if you've got a crappie fillet or anything, you soak it in buttermilk. And then you put some cornmeal in with it, and then you drop it down into the grease for deep frying. Now, here lately, I've been enjoying a tilapia fish at the Mexican restaurant. Yep. And it is really good. But last night, instead of broiling it or grilling it, they fried it, and it just ruined the taste of it. They just ruined it. But I didn't make them take it back. So everybody's wanting to know what's the donation. Download Robo Killer, yeah. And it really works. I had to go into my phone settings and turn it on because it wasn't working. Wasn't working. I think it's an option for Androids as well. Well, the dogs have passed out. It's what they do in the summer. So drink up. I believe it is free. They're using you somehow, some way. But I turned 65. I will turn 65 in January. And when you're 6 months from your 65th birthday, the insurance salesman come out of the woodwork to want you to buy their insurance. And I've tried to answer them, ask them to take off their list. Now, Robo Killer, they do some fun stuff. They will drag them on and record their phone calls and do some, really mess with their heads, act like they're talking to them. And it's funny. It is so funny. So you get a little entertainment value out of it. Opinions on air fryers. They can get really hot, and I would worry about them being on my kitchen counter. You would need to get a tile or something to diffuse the heat to put under your kitchen counter. But Ben loves his. Yeah, he's done some chicken in it and lots of things. But it is air. It's like putting it in the oven, but it's convection air. Ben seems to be doing well. He had his last chemo treatment last week, and he's got to have, in August, he's got to have another CAT scan done, and then they'll schedule surgery. Kimberly likes her air fryer. But right now, I would use your grill. Instapot is an air fryer. Oh my goodness. How does Robo work? I don't know how it works, but it intercepts the call and it never gets through, and it messes with them. You see a green check. I don't see a green check. But thanks for the stars, because when I get enough of them, I'm going to be ordering my red chairs. Because y'all are my red chair friends, and when I get the red chairs, I'll use them on the show. And I'll have one sitting right beside me, and you can pretend that you're sitting in the other one. And we're just sitting and talking. Yeah, grilling is a good thing. And I got Leanne these little bags that she puts fish in. They're little, we got them on Amazon, and they're fish grilling bags or veggie grilling bags so things don't fall in. Patty says I have to tell the red chair story. Many years ago, when Robert was a judge, I would go with him sometimes to court. And if he was in town, I'd go with him and sit and read a book while it was kind of like we would do it on Fridays. It was our date night, but it was a date day. And we would go to the coffee shop where we met, and we would have breakfast in the morning, or I'd have a cup of coffee because I don't really like breakfast. And I sat down into this in this red wingback chair. There was two of them. And I sat down, the chair was empty, and Robert was across the way reading his newspaper and just kind of enjoying his breakfast because he likes to read his paper. But now he reads it online. And the lady in the chair next to me, she reached her hand out and shook my hand, and she said, "Will you be my red chair friend?" And I said, "Well, I'll be glad to be your red chair friend." Her name was Kay. And I said, "Well, my middle name is Kay." So we just, we struck up a friendship. She said, I decided, I moved down here from Maine. She said, I used to be a graphic design artist for a plant magazine or a seed catalog out of, where was it? Somewhere in South Carolina. And she said, we moved to Maine, and then we got a divorce, and I came down here, came to Brevard, and I didn't know anybody. That takes courage to move someplace you don't know with nobody, just by yourself. And she said, all of a sudden, it dawned on me that if something were to happen to me, nobody would know it because I'm at home and I don't get many phone calls and nobody would miss me. And she said, that's when I decided I needed to go somewhere every day, to get out of my house where somebody would expect me every day. And that's what she did. And so she went to the coffee shop, and she made it her daily habit to go to the coffee shop, and she would sit down in the red chair, and whoever sat down in the chair next to her, she would strike up a conversation and become friends with them. And it was a beautiful, beautiful way to make friends. So I'm going to get 2 red chairs. Let's see, what is it? Marla. Oh, Manon. Yeah, we did have an Aunt Manon. That's a good thing to do. Open your blinds every morning and let the sun shine in. I don't have any blinds. I have a sheer in my studio because I have to keep the sunlight from coming in. So it's kind of interesting. I wear my iWatch. Now the iWatch has a fall thing on it. If you fall, it knows that you've fallen, and it will call 911. It'll call 911. You can hold a button down and it'll call 911. So I wear my watch everywhere. I can't take my phone every place, but I wear my watch everywhere. I go down the steps. Robert's out in the woods playing all day. He stays out of my way. I'm at home working, puttering, doing stuff. And, I could fall down the basement steps, which I've had 2 friends die from falling downstairs, y'all. 2. So I'm real careful walking downstairs. One of them was messing with a pressure washer on the steps, and she got tangled up in the cords and the hoses and fell. And this woman had done several tours in Afghanistan. Yeah, she was an army. She'd been in the army for a long time. And then my other friend, the step broke with him, and he fell backwards and hit his head, and he was brain dead. So it's you got to be careful on those steps. You got to be careful. Our front steps. Yeah, this is the 5th generation iWatch. I got it for me for Christmas. It's what I bought myself, and I gave my old one to Leanne. So it's good to have. It keeps me on track. All of a sudden, everything got dark. It's probably because I'm in a sunbeam. Yep, I think red chairs is a good way to think about just reaching out and being around somebody. And that's why you need a buddy. Leanne and I are each other's body clutter buddies. And I think it's so important that you have a body clutter buddy, somebody that you call every day and you talk about what's going on. If it's in a text, or it's in a messenger message or on Facebook, have a body clutter buddy, because that person will keep you real. Yep, really will. There's the view. It just came out. Look at that. That is weird. Let me try something else. Uh-oh. I got up too close and it went away. That was weird. I was going to touch a button. The view came out. Praise the Lord. We can see the mountains. Yeah, you can see several layers. The first little mountain is called Burl Mountain. Oh, I'm going to keep my hands down. It's focusing on the mountains and not on me. Look at that. So get you a body clutter buddy. Find somebody in this chat that you want to be friends with and private message them. And y'all, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It'll work. Look at that. I got 1,000 stars. Those are all big hearts, you know? So thank you for the stars. That's sweet. But you're my friends. You're my red chair friends. And red is one of my favorite colors. It's kind of muggy today, but it does have a beautiful view. There's 3 layers of mountains. There's the first one, which is Burl Mountain, and then it kind of went away. I don't know, move my hand. That's weird. It's just magic. There they came back. The first is Burl Mountain. The second is the Blue Ridge. See, it's blue. That's the Blue Ridge Parkway is on the second ridge. And the third ridge that you can't hardly make out, you can't make out that there's 2 of them, is Cold Mountain is in that line of sight. And y'all have read the book Cold Mountain. It was a New York Times bestseller. Well, folks, I've been running my mouth for 45 minutes. Sometimes it's just good to run your mouth. Just chit-chat away. I love you all. Don't forget about our sales. Get your calendars ordered. It's 2 weeks out. Get your calendars ordered today. You can use coupon code CLEAN25. CLEAN25. To save 25% on calendars and anything else that's not deeply discounted. We've got silver rags that are on a BOGO. What is it not doing? It won't pop out anymore. It was just a freak of nature. We got silver rags on a BOGO. We got pink rags that are half price. You get 12 of those, and they're mini rags. And then $25.95 on our big blue mop, pink mop, well, not pink, purple mop, the big mop. And I'm trying to think. We got the Back to Basics pack, which is $49.95. Every kid going back to college needs this pack. It's a great gift for somebody just getting married. Y'all say a prayer for Scott Adams because he's got to be in quarantine for 2 weeks without his wife. Without his wife. Because he's got to have surgery, so he has to be totally quarantined for 2 weeks before he can have surgery on his sinuses. Yep, let's drink up. I'm out of tea too, y'all. Hugs and prayers, Gina. Yep. I don't know what happened with Gina. But y'all, we're a family here. We lift each other up. Find yourself somebody you want to be friends with. You can do it. Let's find our red chair friends. Let's help each other. That's how Fly Lady started. Somebody wanted to find a buddy, a newbie with somebody that knew the system, and I set up about 75 people with another person, and then the other person would never contact them. So I started mentoring these 75 people by myself. And then somebody said I was doing it individually, and it was just too hard. So somebody said, start a group, and I did. Yeah, the people in the southern part of the world, southern hemisphere, which I want to see one day. I want to see the Southern Cross. It's winter, and the squirrels are throwing acorns at me. We have lots of stories, y'all. Lots of stories. So y'all be good, kind, and sweet. And the most important thing is to be kind to yourself. Yep, that's the most important thing. So y'all find a way to stay in touch with one another. This'll be fun. I love all the hearts too. I think hearts are fine. I love them. Hearts and stars. See you later. Bye.